Boom shakalaka. We're reading a page from Safe Skipper. We're going to read 4 pages from my grandpa's old Home Remedies from the Bible book. And we're going to read 1 page from The Accidental Housewife. It's all about cleaning. I wanted to rent a book on sex because part about being a well-rounded, well-read, studious person, sex is included in that, and sometimes it's fun to read. Just saying. Okay, first page. We're going to do both pages because it's kind of small. Understanding tides. If you are used to sailing in tidal waters, you will know that tides can be both a benefit and a hindrance to the sailor. In many ways, the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages, as tides can offer the navigator a free ride provided they have correctly factored the high and low water times into their passage plan. If a trip does not go to plan, then being caught in an adverse tide can seriously slow you down. For those not so familiar with sailing in tidal waters, here's a guide to the basics. Tides are the rise and fall of the sea level caused by the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun on the earth. As the sea levels rise or fall, a flow of water or tidal stream results, creating a horizontal movement that flows backwards and forwards according to the height of the tide. The frequency, heights of sea level, and speed of the tidal streams vary considerably around the Earth's surface. Detailed data are available to the navigator in tidal atlases, charts, nautical almanacs, mobile applications, and online. Basic principles. To understand the basic principles of when and how tides and tidal variation occur, it helps to study how the moon orbits the Earth, and in turn the Earth rotates on its axis as it orbits the sun. When the alignment of the sun, moon, and earth happens, the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon on the earth are at their greatest, resulting in spring tides. At spring tides, the heights or range of high and low water are at their greatest, and the tidal streams will reach their fastest speed. As the sun and moon fall out of alignment, the effect of their combined gravitational pull weakens until they are at right angles to each other. At this point, neap tides occur, when the tidal range is at its lowest and the tidal streams will flow at their slowest. Other factors also come into play to further complicate how tides behave, but it helps to grasp these basic principles in order to understand the forces at work. Around the coasts of northwestern Europe and the east coast of North America, tides occur twice daily. These are known as semi-diurnal tides. In these regions, there are 2 high tides and 2 low tides every 24 hours, 50 minutes. The Pacific coasts of North America have 2 highs and 2 lows per day, with considerable variation in the first and second tides, which are known as mixed tides. Around the coasts of the northern Gulf of Mexico, much of the Pacific, and Australia, the tides are mostly diurnal, example meaning once daily, having 1 high and 1 low tide per day. Some vital statistics which are useful to know. Each orbit of the Earth by the Moon takes 27.32 days. The Earth takes 24 hours to do 1 rotation on its axis and 365 days to orbit the Sun. Due to the cyclical rotation of the Earth and the Moon, the tidal cycle is 24 hours and 50 minutes long. During this period, there are either 2 high tides and 2 low tides, or 1 high and low, depending on your location. Every 14 days, the sun, moon, and earth are lined up or align. Some little notes by picture. Water depths and drying heights on charts are measured above chart datum, which is the lowest level the tide is ever expected to fall. Estimating the tidal heights at any given time and place requires analysis of data from tide tables to help calculate the tide times and heights at a specific time. Charts are needed to provide the exact position and its charted depth. Tides vary according to the relative positions of the sun and the moon and their combined influences on the Earth's ocean. You already know that. Okay, 4 pages, random, of the Bible, home remedies from the Bible. However, in keeping with the ancients' wisdom of using every part of God's bounty, the pharaohs used papyrus mixed with other herbs as an eye compress, mandrake, so named because its root grows in a shape that looks somewhat like the figure of a man, was used for eye inflammation due to its soothing and cooling qualities, according to the Clark's Bible Concordance. The translation of the Latin botanical name of clary sage is clear eye, and that's exactly what it was used for thousands of years. The mucilage from the soaked seeds helps to do this, and to soothe the inflamed eyes. Purslane, which is rich in vitamin C, was prescribed by early Christians for eye inflammation, according to an ancient Egyptian herbal. For those suffering from rheuma, make an eye ointment by grinding the stems of purslane and squeezing out the juice. Set it aside in the shade with a little gum. Make it into an ointment and apply. Fever. Fevers are part of the body's defense mechanism. Rather suppressing them with over-the-counter drugs, as we often do today, compresses were once used to keep the patient comfortable and encourage sweating. One of the ways that the body eliminates toxins is through the skin, so perspirating was encouraged. Twigs from the rosemary plant were boiled in water, and the water was then used to wash the body after an episode of sweating during fever. The bedding and patient's clothes would then be changed to prevent the reabsorption of the toxins into the body. Clothes soaked in warm water with lemon juice and wrapped around the legs as a compost were a comfort. A dry cloth was then placed on top and woolen leg wrappings put over that. This compress was reapplied every half hour. Today, scientists have discovered that the oils of citrus fruits contain a compound called D-L-limonene. Since this compound has been found to destroy tumors and speed up the metabolism of other medicines, it explains the effectiveness of the juices and essential oils of the lemon and orange, sometimes called neroli, used in many ancient remedies. The white willow contains aspirin-like compounds and was used in infusions by ancient Greek physician Dioscorides to lower dangerously high fevers. The bark of the willow contains salicylic acid, which is very close to salicylic acid found in aspirin. Bathing in water to which a thyme dilution was added was another cooling fever soother. Aromatic baths were frequently prescribed for fevers. Another plant that was frequently added to bath water was the lotus, one of the most beloved plants in early Egypt. It was considered a cooling herb. A feverish patient would be immersed in a lukewarm bath scented with lotus. Another remedy was to leave the patient in a hot room to stimulate perspiration. Then anoint him with lotus oil. He would then be plunged in a warm bath, dried and left to sleep. Hay fever. Honey taken regularly can help to desensitize allergy sufferers to the airborne pollens that cause them distress, but only if it is locally made and contains enough pollen spores to have an effect. Most mass-produced honey today is so filtered that little, if any, of the pollen remains. For the sneezing, sniffling, and eye irritation of allergic disorders, such as hay fever, however, there are ancient remedies that have been found to have antihistamine-like properties. A tea made from stinging nettles, fresh or available freeze-dried from health food stores, and enjoyed regularly, is a real help for those who suffer from chronic allergies. Boom. Random page. Ultimate Housewife. Harmony and balance. In no way a part of my life. That's why in my bedroom, a place I consider my personal space and one rarely visited by strangers, I spend little time fretting over my disorganization. Instead, I have several offensive tactics that make organizing and staying organized flow naturally, or as I like to say, mindlessly. Give or take my biannual need to crank it up a notch and reorganize my closet so I can find my summer clothes and shoes before winter arrives. That is why this section is not separated into offensive and defensive organizing. They flow together to achieve harmony and balance my way. Night tables and dressers. Dish it out. Keep a decorative bowl, box, or piggy bank on your dresser for a change. I also keep one in my closet, since change is always falling out of my jeans when I hang, fold, or toss them on the floor. Box it. Buy decorative boxes, straw, laminated, jewelry, that you can place on top of your night table and dressers for all the junk that you deposit there, such as glasses, remote, jewelry, sexual enhancing drugs, and condoms. Detangling tip. Use straws for link jewelry and to keep them tangle free. Just cut a straw to size, drop your chain down and clasp. Cheap and easy. Closets. Forget the magic mirror. I know it's hard to part with certain items like clothing, hats, ties, handbags, and shoes that bring back fond memories or inspire you to lose weight, since they no longer fit. But part with them we must. Just a friendly reminder, you're not Sleeping Beauty's evil stepmother, and your mirror won't lie. So sort and discard. Use the 20-80 rule. Keep the stuff that you use most and chuck the rest. That is, give it away. Clearly, this does not apply to seasonal items, including linens or blankets that you may use at different times of the year. Bag it. I collect and store shopping bags in my closet the way Carrie Bradshaw collected Manolo Blahnik shoes, though I wish the reverse were the case. Clearly, they hold no real value, but for some reason I suffer separation anxiety every time I consider tossing them. But I realized that I needed intervention, so I came up with ways to slowly part with my shopping bags and repurpose them. So for those like me who share this inexplicable attachment to Neiman Marcus, Macy's, or Target bags, here are some sanity-saving ways to help you let them go.